Good morning. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking. And today I am doing my free class for the To Market Suite. So this is called my Craft Along, where I'm going to show you how to create 4 cards using the To Market Suite, the To Market DPS, along with the Market Goodness bundle. So everyone had the opportunity to purchase the free card class kit. That actually wasn't free. You needed to purchase the Market Goodness bundle, and then you got the papers and things for the kit that I shipped to you. Let's see. So this is the front page of the PDF. So you get the instructions, the PDF instructions, along with the class kit to create with me today. If you didn't get that class kit purchased, then starting today through the month of July, you'll be able to get this card class kit for free with a $50 purchase through my Stampin Up website. That is before shipping and tax, and it's using my host code, which I need to pull up. So give me 1 minute, and I'm going to check also to make sure we're live where we're supposed to be. And I also need to, let me make sure I've got my volume down on here. I also need to share the link into the class. So need to do a little bit of housekeeping stuff real quick. There's that. Let me get my link. So say hello if you're joining me today. I messed up earlier in the week and I was saying it was at 9 a.m. when actually I had it scheduled for 10 a.m. I like 10 a.m. That's when I do my Make It Monday Story and Sketch and Feel Good Friday lives. So I guess that's why I decided to stick with the 10 a.m. All right, I saved that. Let me go and find my events real quick. Events. I guess I could have done it right there. There we go. Okay. A live video from this event is happening now. Shows that it's in there. Let me look and see and make sure. Wow, it figured it out. We're live. Okay. I wonder if there's some place. Anyway, I think that's good. Okay, and then YouTube, we should also be live there. Let me look and see what. I'm not sure what I was going to do with that. I had something open, I guess, to create a post. Okay, shows I'm live also on my YouTube channel, so we should be all good there. So be sure to say hello if you're joining me. Like and comment. That helps my algorithm. All that fun stuff. Just looking at my lighting, I think we're good. All right, so this is going to be a fun, I hope, and relaxing time. I hope that if you're joining me, you've grabbed your coffee or tea or whatever it is you drink on Saturday morning, and you might be out and about busy today. So if that's the case, then maybe you're watching the replay. So leave the comment #replay to let me know that you caught the replay. Would love that. All right, so I've got everything pre-cut here, ready to go, most everything pre-cut. I will be cutting some of the die cuts out. I need to look and see. There's my I grabbed this recently because it's just 1 inch. This is Post-it tape, so this works great for holding the dies down, especially those little bitty dies. And there's a couple of little tiny ones in here. So this is the Market Goodness stamp set and dies that we'll be using today. I'm gonna open that up. So you can buy these individually if you want, the stamp set individually, the dies individually, but then you can also get it as a bundle. You get 10% off, and now through June 30th, you get an additional 10% off a selection of bundles. So that includes the stamp set plus the dies, and then our machines, the mini and the big one, are 10% off as well. So this is a great time to make that purchase. And when you, oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to grab my current, let me see if I can find it. Let me go to Stampin' Up. I got my notes up, my hostess code, because I just closed out one, so I need to get rid of it. So give me 1 second on that, and I'll share. I guess I can take that off altogether. I'm going to share the link if you decide to make a purchase. So June host code, I'm going to put new, and I'll probably run through July since I just created it. There we go. Think that'll work. Make sure it's correct, I believe. Okay, so I just shared that as a comment. I don't know if that pins it or what that does. There's a little star there, so we'll see. Oh, check that out. So there's the code right there. I don't know how long. I think that it stays like 10 seconds, but I'm not sure. I'm learning all kinds of fun new things today. Alrighty, so let's get started, and I am going to get us ready. So in this collection card workshop class, I did use these dies. These are the stylish shapes, some of my very favorite. Okay, I do have, I think, everything pre-cut, so I just wanted to share that with you. Those will be in the instructions, but that'll be in your free card class. That you will get those pre-cut in your class. The only thing that won't be pre-cut will be these vegetables. So that's, and the stamping, you'll need you'll need this bundle to complete these cards. So when you spend $50 on my website now, starting today through July, you will receive, or through my next craft along, which I'll have at the end of July, you can use that host code and let me know that you want the card class, and I will send that to you when you make a $50 purchase before tax and shipping. All right, so let's get busy. Don't know if I'm gonna set that over in the corner. We'll get started with card number 1. So I'll just show you real quick. Cute cards we have. These two are fun folds, and these two are just regular cards, but with some little bit of fun technique. I had fun creating these when we're also using these two. These are the transparent adhesive backed dots. So there is, I've got my ruler so I can check my measurements. And I have a few little close to my heart sparkles here that I used. Just a tiny bit. Okay, so when you get your free card class in the mail, minus this piece, this is what you'll get right here. She'll get all these little pieces pre-cut for you. Okay, so this one's a fun one because we're going to do some paper weaving with this. No, I did get it. So I tried to make sure I had everything pre-cut. So you got to be careful with these little bitty pieces. I'm going to grab my tweezers. Even that's hard. Oh, this would be great too, the take your pick tool. So I'm going to have that handy too for some of these tiny pieces. So I'm going to set those up out of the way. See, it just picks those up super simple. There's a little putty into it. There we go. You can kind of form it like you want it. Shape the putty. When it gets not sticky, you can kind of take it off and then you twist this and more putty comes out. So it's a really cool tool. All right, there's where we'll have our sentiment. So we're going to do some preparation work first. We got to cut out some odds and ends of things, do some die cutting and a teeny tiny bit of fussy cutting. Okay, this is going to go with that. We're going to build our weave pattern on that. And then these pieces are just layers. So we can set all that aside over here as we do our preparation. All right, I think I'll do my cutting and stamping first, and then we'll do the paper weaving just to kind of warm up and get into this. So if you're following along, hopefully you're following right along. You can always watch the replay back. So let's do some die cutting real quick. I've got to die cut out some of the veggies out of here. I'll put our sample card. Let's set that aside here. Our sample card will be right there so you can see it. Kind of see what we're doing. Oh, I've got to get some. In your packet, you will find my linen thread. So you'll get a package of linen thread along with the embellishments. All right. So you should have, other than you'll need the bundle and the inks and your adhesives. I will provide in the next day or two a link to the where you can easily order all the items that you need. Excuse me, and I'll complete the shopping list on the description as well. All right, so let's get to it. We've got, okay, this piece is going to have to be cut just a little bit to fit in my little embossing. So let me get my scissors, because we're going to need 2 carrots. So I know so I've got these 2 carrots right here. I need an onion, tomatoes. Don't think I might can get a radish out of there, but I'm not sure. So let me see if that's probably good. I'm just gonna cut it like this, cut around a little bit. May have to think that'll work, and then we can get some out of this one too. You have to be a little strategic when you're cutting down the paper. Okay, so we're going to need, I'm going to set all these out. I'm getting another frog in my throat. I've already cut those out. We might be able to do a radish, so we'll take those out right now. I'm going to set that over to the side there. And on this one, we can actually, let's get as much out of here as we can. It's like I'm getting warm in here already. Okay, so we'll take some tape. Again, this is that Post-it tape. I'm going to tear it apart. And we're just going, this is what's cool about the Stampin' Up! Dies, is that they coordinate them with some of their paper. And then you can use the dies either with the stamps or the coordinating paper. So it's really kind of, I think I'm going to move it over this way a little bit. Make sure I got it straight again. Get as straight as possible, so we'll take our time. I'm not going to try to rush through this today. I want it to be enjoyable. You can always speed it up if you need to. Did you know you could do that on YouTube? You can speed up the feed. All right, let's see. I should be able to get that out of there. Oh, and okay, I have something exciting to share. So if you've been following me, I've created a scrapbook page about our garden a little bit, I think. And then I also one second, let me get some more tape. So we've been working on perfecting our garden. It's going to take a couple of years probably, but we just really got it going. We've got tons. We have corn growing, and it's like probably 4 feet tall. We have a big, beautiful sunflower. Then we have a bajillion melons that are growing. We had a few really good, I don't think I can get anything else out of this one. Some squash growing. We had to pull those up because the squash bugs kind of decimated them. Had a lot of cucumbers. We have a bunch of tomatoes that are getting ready to be picked. If I move it over here, I think I can get it through here. All right, again, this is the Boho Blue Mini Stamp Cut and Emboss, or I think it's Cut and Emboss. Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I don't know if the word stampin' is in there or not. Anyhow, so back to the garden. This afternoon and evening, we are going to a regenerative farm that's not very far away from here to learn how they use their land to do organic, grow, all kinds of cool stuff. And Jeff's parents are actually just a mile up the road from us, and they have like 150 acres, and we're looking at doing something similar over there. So exciting times. Wanting to, and I'm going to save this piece because later I could cut out like the bell peppers and do some stuff with that maybe. So this paper is really great for doing all the die cutting, but then it's got this pretty, you get 2 sheets of each in your paper packet when you purchase the paper packet. In the card class, you're just going to get bits and pieces of it. All right, so then we also need, we need another carrot. So let's just do that. So I'm super excited. We're both super excited about that. We also learned with the regenerative farming. Might just need to Google it to learn a little bit more about it. So we got those and those. We need to see what we can, not sure radish wise, I can get a radish out of there. Can do an onion. Onions, yeah, we'll do this one over here. They also have like a week-long class that you can attend in October. I don't think we'll be able to do it this year, but maybe next year we can make plans to do that. So fun times, learning something new, and how to make the ranch more productive and profitable. Hello there. Thanks for commenting and saying hello. I'm afraid handcrafted by Gaz. I would say Gaz, but It may be pronounced different. Tell me where you're from. Are you local? I mean, not local, but United States or somewhere else in the world? I know with our Stampin' Up family, we have people all over the world, which is so cool. All right, so I think we've got our pieces that we need for that. So we'll set this aside for now. So make sure I get all my dies back over on the magnetic sheet. So don't lose anything. So there's those pieces. Again, I'm going to save these because I could cut out some more tomatoes and stuff out of that if I needed to. And we'll get this out of the way for the moment. When you create this class, you do need to have, I didn't mention this earlier, these 3 ink pads as well, or something comparable. We've got pumpkin pie we'll be using, real red, and garden green. So we'll need some for the moment. We'll need these 2. I think the real red is only on the last card. Okay, we do need to cut out, there's the pattern on that one. So one side's a full sheet of all these bags and baskets and so forth. And we're just gonna fussy cut this one out. It's a super simple cut. I do have one card that's got a little, I mean, it's only got one thing fussy cut, I think. But some flowers that take a little bit more time, but not too bad. Didn't even look, yeah. So I decided to ditch for the time being my lapel microphone. So I'll keep that because I can cut this part off and keep that as scrap. But I ditched the lapel mic because it was driving me crazy. Sounds really, really good, but then it cut out on me yesterday during my live for like 8 minutes, I think. So that was a bit frustrating. I didn't catch it. All right, so let's do our hello using the garden green. Again, let me share with you real quick. So this is the bundle, the Market Goodness bundle. An extra 10% off now through June 30th. But so you'll get the stamp set plus the dies. Now I purchased a 5x7 adhesive backed magnetic sheet that I put in the inside. And then I transferred my stamps like right onto the, and they're sticking more to that, and peel that off like that. That's just for protection. And then I transferred those right to the case. So I'm going to put that in I'll put that in a safe place. We'll see if we can find it later. Gaz. All right. I kind of figured that it wasn't US. So, all right. Thanks for joining me. So it's kind of quiet this morning, but everybody can watch the replay, which is awesome. All right, let me find my blocks I need. I just need a small block. I am, FYI, a former close to my heart maker, so I just started with Stampin' Up back in May, so May 1st, officially. So I still have some close to my heart products that I just, basically the tools, I guess, that I'm using. So I'm going to set that aside and we'll get this stamped. Instead of, I learned this little tip from someone else, I don't remember who. They suggested putting your stamp on crooked on purpose instead of trying to line it up, which I found to be helpful lately. I've been stamping and scrapbooking for 27 plus years, I think. I was a close to my heart maker for 25, just over 25 years when they announced the closure, which was heartbreaking. So I just celebrated 25 years in December. So big shocker, but I'm so thankful and grateful that Close to My Heart worked with Stampin' Up to help make us a home, because I absolutely love creating. This is my stress relief, usually, unless things start to go awry. Okay, I've got this little X border. I'm going to line it up right there on that line somewhat. Doesn't look very straight like that, but doesn't have to be perfectly straight, just so it's not like this. So I'm going to just tack it down right there. I think I need my really big block for this one. So I have a big 2" by 6.5" block that I like. And then kind of pull that up on there. And then you've got a fairly straight border there. And we will use pumpkin pie for that. We're going to do it right here along this tiny strip. Just adds a little bit of texture, fun texture to your card. You have to get it down here closer to where I can see it. So ink that up good. And you do have to do it twice. So maybe just a little bit more ink right there. Anything I get on my glass mat. Actually, I don't think I got any on my glass mat. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so far this has been pretty simple. It'll be the paper weaving that's a little bit tricky. I've done it like twice, at least this so far. So all that's prepped. So really that's all we have to do before we just assemble everything. So I made, you'll see the paper weaving right back here. So I made my piece a little bit bigger. You can, and that way we can tape some things down, and that will be more helpful, I think. So I'm going to, let's see here how we've got some, let me show you the pieces. So this piece is 3 inches wide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Okay, so I made it a little bit bigger because we'll do some trimming around. So these pieces go that way, these go this way. Okay, and we'll start, I think we'll start by putting these down. And we'll put some tape. Let me get my seal. We're going to put, since this is plenty long enough, we're going to put just a little tape right up here at the top. And we'll center this to right. Get it pretty centered on here. And you want it fairly tight, so just butt that right up against there. Okay, and then I'm just crossing my fingers if this works like it's supposed to. And then we'll start it like this. Just kind of push that up there as far as you can. And we will end up taping everything down. I think let's just do the weave first, and then we'll see about lifting it up to tape everything. So now we're going to go under, over, under, okay? And push that right up in there. Now if you wanted to, you could sponge the edges of all of these, and it would make it stand out even more. But I chose not to do that on this part. Okay, so I haven't glued anything else down yet. We're just creating our weave. So I think I've tried this several different ways. I don't really remember exactly how I finished it off, but Okay, and then this one is gonna go like this. It's just the opposite. So we have an extra one here that you don't even need. Okay, so you want it really tight, so that's your weave right there. And then I'm just gonna put some adhesive, go ahead and tape the top pieces down here first. Just all these, whoops, make sure you're tight. Let me lift that back up. Because you really don't want the white showing underneath is the goal. And then these pieces. Okay, so now all that's good. So we can lift up here and now just do some seal. Like, be fairly generous because we are going to trim some of this off, and I think I'll go ahead and do some right there as well. And now you can just lay it down. So no matter what you cut now, you should be good to go. So we'll trim this down. We're going to trim it down to, we've got 2 1/4 by 5. Okay, 2 1/4 by 5. So let's get the paper trimmer out. And I think I do want, I'm going to try to keep this centered. Okay, so we had it at 3 inches, so 2 1/4. Let me make sure that's about right. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Oh, so we can do it like that. So instead of really trying to measure, I'm going to use these lines right here, just centered, I think. Let's see. I'm going to have to press pretty hard to cut through all those layers. There's like a little bitty bug right there. I don't know what kind of little bitty bug that is. Okay, flip it around and let's see where we're at. There's 2 1/4, so I think that was just perfect. So we have about the same width on either side. Okay, now we can, doesn't really matter too much, kind of looking at my pattern, we just want this down to 5 inches. I think that we'll just cut it off at this end over here. All right, and then there's our woven piece. That was just a fun technique. I actually created all these cards using some mystery stamping that we did, I think, at Rhonda Wade's online convention. So I just chose to use to market to do all those, and I was like, oh, well, that's going to be a card class. Okay, so now I think we're ready to assemble everything. So we've got a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 card base. These are pre-made cards that I had left over from Close to My Heart, so you could use white cardstock, basic white cardstock, and then cut it at the 5 1/2, half it, so it's half the sheet. Score it at 4 1/4. But I have a bunch of these card bases from Close to My Heart still, so I'm using those up instead of my white cardstock. All right, so we're going to, let's just kind of lay this out and then we'll build it. So that pretty plaid paper, so there's those flowers that we're going to use on another card here in a little bit. So it'll be layered. Can kind of decide which way you want at top. It doesn't matter. It's funny because when maybe not. I was going to say I thought I can see the dimension a little bit more this way for some reason. And then these pieces will go on here. This is an extra piece. I didn't need that one. Okay, we're going to go ahead and layer this piece onto the very bottom of this. This was just a fun way to bring in that pumpkin pie cardstock and use that stamp set. Use that stamp, the border. Okay, we are going to end up putting on some linen thread. I didn't pre-cut this. You'll get this in your kit. I want to say I did like 18 inches. Okay. You will get a PDF with your when your card kit ships. That'll give you all these details. All right, so we can take that. I just did two 18-inch strips of that, and I'm going to run, I'll just do, so I'll run some adhesive right back here, and this is just going to help hold my paper. Let me clean that little bit of adhesive I got up right there. So this is not the Stampin' Up glass mat. I have the Stampin' Up glass mat. I purchased this one before I knew, like right before I knew that they were coming back with the Stampin' Up mat. So I'm just trying to make sure I have enough to go. It's just about maybe 1/16 of an inch higher than that border. So anyhow, and this will just help hold that in place. I'm not going to tie it yet. Once it's on my card, it'll be easier to tie. So I'm going to lay that aside over there. And then we can go ahead and build this up. So anyhow, the Stampin' Up glass mat is going to be available to customers starting July 3rd. So super exciting. Oops, I think I'm out of seal. Still trying to learn how. I think the whole thing comes off. Yeah, I've only switched it out one time, but pretty much out of it. I'm going to set it aside just in case, but I do have a refill. I think I already need to order some more. I think that might be my last refill. And I might switch to my glue, my liquid glue. I'm just so used to using the tape runners. I've been trying to use the glue on the cards as much as possible, just to conserve this for my scrapbooking, because I'm using this for scrapbooking for sure. So maybe we'll switch over to this real quick and just use that as needed. Get it started. Always gets, there we go, a little bit clogged sometimes if I don't put the lid on quickly. I just got this off of Amazon, this little container. I think I got 10 of them. And that's just kind of centered in here. It was a 3.5 by 4 1/4 piece, I think. So I'm just centering it so it has the same width on each side. And they're all a little bit different. Okay, and then we can glue this straight down as well. This is our weaved piece. My fingers now are sticky. That's the only thing I don't care about. The glue, so I always end up getting it on my fingers. Okay, there's that. Our next piece is this one. So we do need a little bit of dimensionals. Let me clean my, see if I can get that glue off my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to put some, I don't need it right down the center here, really. I just need them right, probably along this area. Just have it turned upside down so I can kind of see where I want my dimensionals. So that should keep the do just perfect right there. So if you're not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you may have, I never knew this until I became one, but a lot of the team meetings that I participate in, they do mystery stamping is what it's called. Love it. I've had so much fun with it. Of course, I've done all cards so far with it. Would love to introduce it for scrapbooking. That would be really fun. And so now we're going to tie our bow real quick. But they provide you ahead of time the measurements for the paper pieces. But then, I'm going to do it this way a second. You choose your paper and stamps and inks. So you can pre-cut everything if you want, or just wait until you see their sample. And then you know, do it based off of that. But it's been really fun, and that's how I created this whole card workshop, is using mystery stamping that we did. I didn't get it super tight around there, but that will work, I think. I'll put a little glue dot right there. I'm going to cut off. Let me play around just a little bit with the length of my loops I want. There. Clean them up a little bit. Okay, so then I can take a glue dot. If you aren't able to get it super tight, you can put a little glue dot under here. Position it where you want it, and then it'll kind of stay in place. And a little bit of looseness doesn't affect it too much. So on this one, I've got I can maybe finagle it so the ends of the bows were both down here, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, now we need to build up just all these little pieces, and we'll be done with card number 1 after we embellish. Okay, I did foam dot this one, so I can make it a little bit higher. I'm going to do it more on the bottom of the basket, because that way we can tuck the move that up a little bit. I think that'll work. Gonna tuck it under there. We can let's go ahead and put so this can go right about here. So maybe just a little bit of dimensionals right there, and then I'm gonna put glue on this part. Okay. That'll work. Okay, about right there, just centered. And then let's tuck in our pieces of, oops, see, can easily lose all those little pieces. Those are out of Real Red, I think, cardstock. And then just kind of tuck these in. That's the only one that I did flat. Did some dimensionals. I'm gonna grab my, actually I can just use these. It didn't take as long. I just got in some, I might do, I think that'll be small enough. Just got in the mini dimensionals that I haven't busted into yet. Let me get my, these pieces start getting tiny, and actually I don't think I need one on here, but I do need them on the carrots. Just on the top of this one will overlap this one over that one. So let's put this one down first. And then, so this is my first craft along. So it's quiet today. I know Saturdays are busy for everybody, but I do lives Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have some pretty good engagement on those. I think this time I will poke it out like that a little bit more. Oh well, I guess that's good. I'm going to twist it a little bit more so it's not, so it looks like it's actually coming, it's in the basket. And so I'm hoping that I'll have more participation here soon as I continue to do these consistently. So this was my first one, like I said. Okay, so we've got one here. Can probably put some here. Again, this is a free card class, so you can create whatever, use any DSP that you want to recreate these cards. I just love it with the to market. Probably wouldn't have gotten this if it hadn't have been for us having a garden this year. I did have a, I think I'm just going to, let me see here. Did I have some in this DSP? The radish is what I'm looking for. That one I probably could fussy cut out, which I think I'll do real quick because it did have it in here. So if you didn't get the dies, you could also just fussy cut all these out, but I know a lot of people don't like to fussy cut. This does have a die, just FYI, but I figured I'll just fussy cut it out real quick. So it's kind of on the edge. That didn't look very good, but I did have a radish in there. At least I think that's what this is. Could be a turnip. All right, and so when I'm fussy cutting it out, I'm not really moving my scissors. I'm more moving the paper around. And then I always leave just a little bit of white around it. So then it kind of looks like it has been die cut out. Matches everything else. So we will do a little bit. I do need to cut a little bit more. I do this just so I can use all of the dimensional elements. Okay, I think this one might be like one of the most tedious ones to make just because of that paper weaving. Let me look and see. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, so I gotta get moving. So I really didn't want it to last an hour for every card. So, all right. But I did talk a little bit in the beginning. And this one we can just do here. So the 3 remaining ones will go a little bit quicker, I think. Okay, so there's that. And then we just need, I'm going to just use some little bit of glue on each one of these. And these are dies out of that bundle. Super cute, super tiny dies. I think it cuts, yeah, these little die, it cuts a large one and a small one. Little flowers. Maybe right in here. Leave room for a dot. Whoops, stuck to my finger instead of to the embellishments. We've got a couple of close to my heart. I just thought these would be pretty to add to it. And I'm using a little bit of my product I have left over. I am doing a buy one get one sale right now in my sales Facebook group. So I've been adding over the last couple of days close to my heart products. I'm going to pull that off and start over because it's getting kind of funky. So just clean it up a little bit and then twist it. Just I'm going to barely twist it out because it like keeps coming out. Poking out. So you barely have to twist it and it just, there's putty inside there. So kind of cool. All right, and these are the coordinating transparent dots. And we'll do, is this Blackberry Bliss, I believe. I'm just using the small ones. See, now my putty's stuck to the adhesive. Okay, there we go. That didn't work very well that time. I need to form my putty. So kind of squish it down in there to make a little ball on the top. I think that's how I've been doing it. All right, there we have it. We have our first card complete. Don't think I missed anything. I think I got it all. So there we go. Let's move on to the card number 2, which is, it's another just fairly simple one. We do have to do a little bit of stamping on this one. So we'll stamp and die cut those out. But then the assembly is super simple. And there's another little tiny die. That little bitty bow is so cute. My goodness, it is so humid here. I'm like burning up. Hey Lisa, how are you? All right, let me reorganize just a little bit, get things out of my way, and we'll get started on this one. Okay, we're going to build a little basket, so I'll show you how to do that. I think all we need is, we need to stamp on that. And then we have a piece here to stamp, and this is what we'll die cut out of. So we'll kind of move these pieces out of the way. Put all my tools over here. All right, so we need mostly these 2 colors, Garden Green and Pumpkin Pie. Bring in that. Let's do the For You stamp real quick. I'm going to use my 2-inch block. So we're going to stamp that little guy right there real quick. Out of habit, I do try to put it on there straight, but okay, there's a piece. Trying to be good and clean and put my stamps away as we go. All right, so the lettuce, I'm gonna do need like a scrap of something. I've got some white Post-it notes here, so I'm just gonna use that as my scrap because I want to ink this up. So this is a 2-step stamp. So this garden green is like super juicy. See it? I'm gonna stamp off over here. Of course, that's not gonna work on the pad, so let's try this again. Let's ink it up. So I need it flat. Okay, and then let's stamp it. Just leaving room so that I can die cut it out. Okay, already gives a kind of a cool look because it's so juicy. This particular pad is. We just need the one. Let me look. I don't think I decorated the inside of this. Actually, I did. Look. Okay, couldn't remember. I did not decorate the other one. I don't think. I'm going to double check, but I don't think I did. Nope, I left it blank, but you could totally decorate the inside. All right, so let's clean that. I don't know what just fell. Okay, and then it has this layer. So we'll see. I'm going to dry that off. I'm just going to try to, I mean, this pad is like super juicy. Okay. I don't know that there's a perfect way to, I am kind of looking over it and seeing. Okay. Not sure if I got it lined up good or not, but pretty good. Okay, I think once it dries, it'll be much more muted like this one over here. We do still need that out, so I'm gonna just leave it right there. So now we're gonna need to do several carrots. See, I've got 1, 2, 3, so I need 4 carrots. Yeah, 4 carrots because I have one on the inside as well. So let's do that, and it's got 2 pieces. It's not 2-step stamping necessarily, but so let's do, I think I left myself plenty of room. So I can do 1, 2, do one over, I think I'll do it over here. I think I'll have more room. I think I'll be good if I, hopefully I'll have enough room with the tops. I don't think they'll touch there because we're about to find out. Okay, that was in pumpkin pie. Now you want here are the tips. I think I might just use my smaller block over here. I have a little bitty one, 1-inch one. Whoops. We want them to be green. So I can put this away. Let me do that. I do love that you can put a label inside here. I'm gonna have to get down over this to nest it down in there. So it's got a little notch right down in there to line up with. So I'm gonna have to get kind of close. There we go. To be able to see it. I get in my head a little bit. I didn't do that one all the way. Let me see if I can line it back up best. It's a little off, but I'll hide it in the back. So Mike could restamp it, but I'm not going to. Just got extra leaves in the background, right? It's a little too quick-handed. That's what will happen. All right, let's set that aside for now. And then we need to bring in our cutting, our cut and emboss machine. This is the mini. Again, it's 10% off through June 30th. So get a little bit off. And if you do place an order of 150 or more, don't use my hostess code and you can get stamping rewards yourself. Unless you're participating in my buy one, get one, and you have to use my hostess code. All right, where are my dies? Right here. So there we go. There's that. And of course, we're gonna have to run this through 4 times but it'll go pretty quickly. Grabbing the base and just line those up. I can at least get, so I think this is, I'm just gonna double check. 3.5 inches wide is how small your paper has to be able to cut these properly. And I may cut that down since they're right on the edge over here. Okay, I can put that one down and do my, can you see how that's already starting to soften up some? So I'm gonna get my tape down and hold both of those at the same time, I think. Another tip I learned is to make sure that those are not all flush. You want them kind of off-centered and it'll go through a lot easier. Sometimes these will like shoot out like a rocket over there. Okay, so we've got that piece and we gotta, so I can put my lettuce away. My lettuce die. And we just need 3 more of these cut. So I'll do this one. And I'll line it up with the darkest part of the leaf since I misstamped there just a tiny bit. Do want to center that. I am also using number 3 platform instead of the number 1 because I can't seem to get it through my machine. The number 1 with these 2 clear ones. I did a little research when I got the machine because I was struggling with it. So I did YouTube search and learned a few little tricks. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just trim this part off. That way I can put those in there like that. All right, I can go a little bit faster now. Yes, this one's going to come together so much quicker. All right. I think I might have done the hardest one first, I hope, I think. All right, and then carrot number 4. I am a little bit more tedious about getting it lined up. Try not to let it bother me too much if I'm off a little bit, but sometimes if it's really bad, I'll just redo the whole thing. So when I'm done with these, I am going to share what my July craft along will be. I'm excited about it. All right, all that, I can put that away again for the moment. You can keep that white scrap if you want to, but let's build up our page. Okay, so, or our card. So another close to my heart card base, that would be an 8.5 by 5.5 piece, scored at 4 1/4. All right, so we can go ahead and put this piece down. Try not to use my Stampin' Seal. So that's your 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece. You see all that pretty bags and things. These all have to be fussy cut if you want the individual bags, which I've done a couple of other cards. I'm going to show at the end 2 fun fold cards. They're the same, but using the 2 Market collection, but in a little bit different colors. I actually have a YouTube video where I created, I think it was a 2, 4, 6, 8 fun fold card. So there's a YouTube video of me creating it, plus I have a PDF, a free PDF that is linked in that YouTube video that you could download if you want. All right, so let's build this up. That's on the inside. Okay, we can build this up. Okay, so these are cut. We just gotta put that over there. Match them up. I think they called this a panel card, so that was pretty easy. Is that not correct? I thought it was easy. So let's see, I think it's this way. Move that over a bit. There we go. So see how everything lines up? So it's just like, I'm not even going to give you the measurement. I think it's, I got to get another ruler because it's 1/16. But the whole piece, let me see what the whole piece was cut at. I think this piece was originally cut. Let me go this way. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 5/8, I think, by 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you cut it. I'll have to figure out the measurements. I don't remember what they were. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna do the center, I think, first. See, that's pretty. I used that on. There I am trying to use my Stampin' Seal. I'm gonna put it away because I really am trying to conserve that. And when I'm making cards, I'm trying to use my liquid glue more. So just using my grid here, I'm gonna find the center right there. And I hope I grab the right piece. Just a second, I may not have, just a second. Let me pull it up, let me line it all up again. It's not that way. Needs to go this way, doesn't it? So that's not my centerpiece. This is my centerpiece. Let me try this again. I'm not sure that's correct. Let me look at it again because I thought that was on the outside. So, sorry guys, let's see here. There. Yeah. There we go. Is it like that? Yeah, it should be like that. So maybe that was. I don't even. I was probably correct. That just something threw me off there. All right, so that's pretty much centered right down there. And then these 2 pieces can go like this, I believe. Just trying to put it on there so you have the same width all right there. I already have some glue on there, but I'm going to add a little bit more. I think that's right. I think I actually did better on this one than I did on that one. Okay, so you have that panel. This is a panel card is what it's called. All right, we want to put some linen thread. I think, I was looking, I went all the way around. Yes. So something similar to what we did last time, but so I probably only need maybe about 14 inches. But I do want two. Just like the extra texture. And that will last you a long time, actually. All right, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee real quick. I will have a PDF, Lisa, so as soon as I have that ready, since you're a team member, I will send it to you for free. Hello, Martha. Don't know if you're still here. But thank you for joining me. All right, so I just need to put it around this piece. I will use my stamping seal for just holding that down. So about an inch or so. Get it started. This is the new one. Okay, there we go. Put it up about right here. I hope I'm on the bottom. Yeah, I think so. And then I did not pop dot that one. So let's do glue. So we can go ahead and put this piece down. You could put this up with dimensionals if you wanted to, but I did not because I did dimension on some of the other items like that one, I think. Have a little bit of glue right there. Of course, I got to get it on my finger, of course. Here we go. Yeah, things have been kind of crazy around here. I kind of stressed myself out, I think, trying to get my BOGO sale started. I was going to do a live for my BOGO sale, and then I decided not to because to do that, I'd have to have everything ready ahead of time, everything priced and numbered and all of that. So I'm just slowly working through my close to my heart stash and listing it in my Facebook group, which I can't remember already. Now let me look at, I'm going to share the link real quick is what I'm going to do. Just in the comments, if I can find it. Don't want events. I want, let me go to my groups. There's a link. Share, copy link. And I'm going to post the link to my, I'm going to type this out real quick. So little intermission here. Let's do, is it working? Just a second. There we go. BOGO sale link. Hopefully that'll work. If you have friends in the group already, it will automatically add you. If not, I just have to, I'll check it after the live. But there's the link to my Facebook sales group. I am only selling to in the US. So just FYI, if you're catching this. If there is something you gotta have, you might, and you're not in the US, you can message me privately and we can discuss shipping. So I guess that's an option, but right now I've got everything posted and clarified that it's just for shipping in the US, because you'll have to pay if you want it to go. I don't know that I made it long enough. I don't know how I guess I needed to be longer this way. Let me see if I can, 1 second. Or how about, okay, I'm going to do this. We're going to do this one. Hope it doesn't get confusing, but I'm going to do it the opposite side. So this one will be like a mirror image, just because I didn't get that down like I should have. I'm going to get that tight and keep it tight, I'm going to make a knot. I'm going to go ahead and put a glue dot underneath there. So I'm just making sure the glue dot is on the knot part. Then I can tack it down, and it's just easier to manipulate for your bow. All right, so you can do it this way. You could also just run you could do your bow separately if you wanted to and glue it down. Whatever works best for you. I'm just kind of manipulating it to see if I need to, how big do I want my bows? I think that's good. So we'll just kind of flip it on this sample. So I'll put my basket over here and my For You over here. Just something a little different. Okay, this does need foam. Stampin' Dimensional. Keep wanting to call it foam tape or something. Okay, so I'm gonna do just one right about there. We can get it down. So this will give you a good idea of that you can just change things up a little bit if you want. All right, so let's do, okay, how I did this, I cut this with the die, so it'll be pre-cut in your collection, in your card kit. Then I have a square right here, so I just want to put glue all along this area right there so that I can tuck in my carrots. And I think I just hid the lettuce like behind it. Tucked it in there. All right, so we just need glue. So just a little bit. That's what I like about this really thin. Let me get that out of the way. I have to hold it like that. Could just do like little dots, like right in those little areas. If you can't get it all the way, line it. There we go. Let's just do dots. That seems to be a little bit easier. And this will just hold it on to here. Okay, and then there is a little bit of fussy cutting. So just follow the basket, the line of the basket. Try not to cut the actual die. Just follow the shape of it carefully. You want to make sure you have some good lighting, especially if you have older eyes like mine. Okay, so there's that. And then you do have to kind of get up under here. Make sure you're under the handle. There. That's simple. So you made your little basket. Let me get back to so I can see I'm in the right. Okay, there we go. Now all we got to do is really tuck these in here. And you could glue these and lay these in here if you wanted to differently. If you want them to So this part is just maneuvering it a little bit. Push that one in the background. So like that. And let's see, could tuck that down there just a tiny bit, I guess. See, just like that. Just where it's kind of poking out from behind there. Could push it over this way since we're gonna put it right up here. All right, then really we just, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tack that down. Don't think I did any dimensionals. I think there's still quite a bit of glue in there, but let's make sure you have glue on there, and then we'll just tack it down right over here. See how it's just kind of opposite? Might just have to hold it down a tiny bit. And we're pretty much done. We got to do the inside. Let's get that little piece on there, the cute little bow. Can go right there. Took me, I don't know if I did a card with it. I think I did something. I think I did it on my scrapbook page. At the end of this, I'll show you my page I made. But there are some, I could not figure out what they were. This right here, I didn't know what that was for until I finally saw a sample someone made. And it's the bouquet. It's like the stems, and then you can add your flowers on there. But for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what it was. And I had a hard time with a couple of die sets with Stampin' Up, not knowing what some of the pieces were and having to see what other people figured out. All right, so let's go ahead and finish the outside. I just need a couple of the clear dots. So I did a big one, well, doing like a mirror effect. So I'm gonna put them over here. Did I do all big ones? No. Trying to see where it did. Oh, I did use a couple over here. I was like, it didn't look like I used any of them, but I did. Just let's see here. This one will go up here, and I have a big one down there, right about here. Okay, I think that's it. So we got the mirror effect going. Hope that doesn't confuse anybody. I'm gonna use the sealant tape since I got it here for this little piece. Okay, we're decorating the inside. Super simple, but just adds a little something, something. And can just, that is measured, it's a half an inch by, let me get my paper straight, by 4 1/4. And then just glue that straight down. Need to clean up my nozzle a little bit, it looks like. And just put it right there. All right, that's card number 2. So look at the difference. You can do them either way and it looks just fine. Okay, let's get to our fun folds. Okay, this one might be a little bit more tedious. Maybe not. I do have to do a little, I think, one die cut. No, this won't be too bad, really. Since everything's pre-cut, it's not too bad. All right. Let me pull out the pieces we're going to stamp on. I'm going to stamp on these. So let me show you the card. I actually created this one yesterday during my live. This one goes like that. So can you see it? How fun is that? Love it. Okay. So we'll fussy cut this out. So stamp, fussy cut, and we got to die cut a circle out of there. And I think that's it. We'll stamp on the inside. So really, it's not that difficult. It looks difficult, but it's really not. So we'll have to score that too. So that'll be part of our prep. And we don't have to do anything to that. Okay, so let's score this piece real quick. I do remember, since I did this yesterday, keep my blade down. This is a 3 3/4 by 11-inch piece, and I'm scoring at 5 inches. That's my scoring blade, the white one. This is actually close to my heart's. They introduced it right at the end of their closing period, because I guess it was probably going to be in the new catalog coming out this summer. So I got it. It is exactly like Stampin' Up's, just in ivory, I guess, vanilla. Okay, and now we're gonna score at 10. So 5 and 10. So I'll be using this one for a while until I just probably can get the Stampin' Up one for free at some point, maybe with rewards or something. Okay, so this is how we want to fold it. Down like this and up like this. Okay, and then we'll come back and assemble that here in a minute. Let's get this out, cut out. This is the where I need to use the, let me see if I can, think I can do my mini. Use my mini. Let me find, this is the only, I didn't cut it. I wanted to show you how to do this, but I would in the kit, I'll cut it. So you don't necessarily have to have the stylus shapes dies. This was the only tricky part for the card kit that I had. Let me see which one. I think it's the big one. Yeah. So it's the largest circle. I'm going to get this positioned properly, as you can see. So you just want it to be about right in there. Oops, right in there. Okay. And because we're going to end up using, you want it centered because we're going to use both pieces. Okay. It's about right there. Leave some space down here. So I'm going to, because what's really cool about these dies is it creates a, like dots, or I think dots on the inside and stitches on the outside. So you can use, it's not just a plain circle. You get actually 2 elements out of it, which is pretty cool. Okay, and we can just roll that through there. See, for whatever reason, this one, let me see how I've got it. Maybe I don't have it far enough back. Sometimes it just doesn't want to go through for me. See if that was a little bit better. There we go. Maybe, yep. Just some dies are a little tricky. So to show you how that works, just like that, voila. This piece will be used on the inside. This is on the outside. So we got that all cut and ready. We need to do a little fussy cutting. Sorry guys, there are no dies for this particular one. So you can get really intricate with it, or you can just kind of quickly cut around it. I'm a little bit more of an intricate gal. But again, you're just really turning the paper more than your scissors. Don't have to go all the way in there. If you're having, I know some will have trouble fussy cutting. Maybe they have issues with trembling hands or arthritis or things like that. Totally get that. My main issue right now is my eyes, so I just make sure I have this really bright light so I can see better. Again, I'm just leaving a little bit of white all around the edge. The die would have been awesome for this. Kind of wish they had done that, but I guess it would only probably, they'd only be able to do it and be able to cut out one of the flowers. So who are my fussy cutters and who are like, That's what I'm curious about. I've always kind of liked it. So there we go. So not too bad. And I'm going to trim that off to keep that little bit of this piece. I probably will just trash. Okay, so there's that. Then we just have a little bit of stamping to do. We've got a stamp bursting with happiness. Thanks a bunch. And then right up here, we'll do that part probably. We could probably do it now. Let's do it. Okay, because it's on that piece and it's all in pumpkin pie. So let's do, I need to put my stamp set back over here where I originally had it. So we've got, get to show you this. So this stamp right here is actually a long stamp. You can cut it if you want. I don't know how many of you feel comfortable cutting your stamps. I'm kind of iffy on it. Let me see. There's one. Sometimes I don't mind. Other times I'm kind of like, eh. So I'm just going, what's nice about this one though is the words are pretty separated. So you can just do ink up the bursting with and then stamp that centered up toward the top. Then you want to clean, make sure everything's clean and not wet. My chamois is pretty dry, so I think we'll be good. Could also use like a Post-it to cover up if you wanted. I just want to make sure that it's dry and there's not any leftover color on that bursting with, and then I can go over here and ink up the happiness. And centered right underneath there. Go. There we go. So what do y'all do? Do you cut your stamps? Or do you use a masking technique or do something similar to what I just showed you? Oops, I'm not done with that yet. But I cleaned that, put that away. And then we want thanks a bunch. That's a great stamp set or message with this stamp set. All right, put that away. And that can go right in the center. So we're doing this now. Oh, I'm doing much better on time. The first card, wasn't really that the first card took a whole hour, but because I talked at first some, I was like, oh my gosh, it was almost an hour before I got done with the first card. Okay, so we've got those two, and then we just need that stitched X border, which I think I already have on a block here. So I still have some color. I'm always trying to get all the color off the stamps before I put them away so that I don't have an issue the next time I stamp them. Sometimes I accidentally leave a little bit. All right, so we've got these pieces, and then we're going to stamp that right across there, and it's going to fit just perfect with one image. Okay, be careful if you get color along here. So I don't have any visitors today on my desk, if you notice so far. We still have the kittens, 3 of them. And if you saw my live yesterday, I shared that poor little pumpkin got in the middle of Noelle and Lady. So Noelle's the mama cat, Lady is our dog, and Noelle's been very protective. And night before last, she, middle of the night at 3 a.m. literally, they got into it. We woke up, and it must have been over Pumpkin, and Pumpkin had a bloody eye. So we were a little concerned about something happening to his eye. So it's been 48 hours-ish maybe, and he's seems to be doing just fine. I think his eye's going to be fine. He just got maybe scratched in the corner or something a little bit. So I'm praying that he doesn't lose his eye, basically. So, all right, there we have it. Now we just need to assemble. So this one really was a lot simpler than it looks. Just lots of layers and pieces. All right, so let's start with this. We're going to put adhesive. First, let's do this. We're going to put adhesive. This would be on the card base. Close it and then just line it up on one of these pieces of Blackberry Bliss. It looks like that. So these are cut at a standard, so it was a 5.5 by 8.5. I cut it 4 1/4, so you have 2 pieces. Layer that one on there like that, and then you'll put, the Stampin' Seal is really good for this, for the mechanism here. And then we're just gonna want to line, kind of hold it down. I mean, see the best way to do this, because I want it straight, so I'm gonna line it up like that, holding that down. There we go. So then you have that mechanism for your fun fold. And then we'll do this piece. I can get my liquid glue. I think I cleaned it up a little bit. And layer that on the front. So we're building the card front. Yep, I just had to look and make sure I was doing it right. Then this piece goes down. See, that, really love this paper. And go all the way around there and go around the circle a little bit. Okay, center that. So I just really love how this card turned out. And then that big circle right here, nothing stamped on it. We'll just pop it up with some dimensional elements. So maybe 3 we'll do. Kind of a triangle will be plenty, I think. Okay. And center that. I did tie a little bit of twine around there, so we can put this down with some elements, dimensional elements, but just leaving that free so I can string some behind there. Maybe do I have it cut? I don't think I have it cut. I don't know that yeah, I did put. Let's put that like right there, so down as far as you can. I think that'll work. So let it overlap on both top and bottom, just a tiny bit centered. You can bring in, do I have any scraps? Let me look and see before I cut more. If I did, I threw them in the trash, I think. Okay, so just long enough that you can tie, and I did use 2. I think I kind of did that throughout. This needs to be long enough that you can tie a knot. So hopefully I did. And let's see if I can get it under there fine. I think so. So it has the little twine around there, which you could just leave like this. This just added another little element. Kind of maneuver it to fit up there and tie a knot. So just look for fun little ways you can add some extra texture to your cards that just elevate your cards more. And that time you can pull pretty tight because that first knot took care of it. And then I kept it pretty, I cut off quite a bit right there just so it wasn't too obnoxious. It just, you can kind of fray it out if you want to a little bit. All right, then we need, let's see which one. These are a little bit different. I think the longer one goes on here. Is that correct? No, it's this one. Okay, so the shorter one can just layer down. I'm gonna get my tweezers, maybe eliminate getting it all over my fingers. There's a glob there. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. A little too much right there. Okay, and then just up enough, about a ½ inch. I got a lot of glue on there that time, way too much. Kind of wipe that up if you need to. I should have something else to wipe it on than my fingers, because that's why it always drives me crazy. My fingers get sticky. But this helps a little bit. I'll just clean my fingers off. So if you're watching and join me, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. This is my free card class, my craft along. So starting today through toward the end of July, when I have my next craft along, when you make a purchase of $50 or more through my Stampin' Up website, I'll send you the card kit and PDF for free. All right, so there's where are we at? Okay, we need, my fingers are still sticky. We need this to pop dotted up. So just 2 of these should be plenty. 2-dimensional elements. So aside from my National Scrapbook Day events I did, this is probably my longest live so far. Full-blown card class here I'm teaching for free. But to get the PDF for all of these and to create these, you'll need the it's Market Goodness stamps and dies. An extra 10% off as a reminder now through June 30th. Okay, we'll go ahead and embellish. If I can find, there they are. I don't know why I keep throwing stuff way over here when I'm using them. Okay. I'm not sure the different colors. That's the only thing. They don't tell me on here what colors these are. I'm going to say garden green on this one. This one might be like, let me look at the color. Maybe Granny Apple Green. Possibly. All right. It might say it on the website. I'm not 100% sure. I will get all these products linked in the description afterwards. I ran out of time. Okay, so all of that goes on the inside. So we can now, we'll open this up so you can see the inside. So when you do it like that, it actually just looks like a regular card. Okay, so we'll open that up like that. And we just need to layer this piece down. So this gives you lots of room to write. Well, you're taking up some space down here, but it just adds that extra element. I'm just eyeballing it. Let me see if I was pretty close to the original. Yep, just about on point. So that is about from the, let's see, 1 1/4 inches from the bottom. See, I didn't get it super straight, but oh well. So I'm gonna do it like this so you can see. All right, and then this piece goes down. Everything on the inside is just glued down with liquid glue, no dimensional elements. Don't want to make it too bulky. So that's kind of centered on there. Then this piece was next. Time for my tweezers. So again, if you're just joining me, I created this card class using Mystery Stamping from, I think it was Rhonda Wade's online convention that I did toward the end of May, I think. Can't believe we're already at the end of June. Okay, and this one, same. Not going to use any dimensional elements, just because it's the inside of the card. Just centered right there. All right, 3 cards down, 1 to go. So there we have our 2 cards, pretty much identical. Really fun fold. I love this one. Again, I just did this one again yesterday on my live. And then the last one is another fun fold. But a fun color scheme just with the tomatoes. This is almost what our tomatoes look like right out the window. They're just not like red like that yet, but we have clusters of them like that. I'm so excited. All right, so this one, I know there's a name for it, but I forgot to write it down what it was. Interlocking maybe card. I think I saw Gina Kay just did one similar, but I learned how to do this a couple of, over a month ago at least. All right, so let's get it busy. It shouldn't really take very long as well, because it looks difficult, but it's really not. So let's see what we've got to stamp that. And I need to make sure what we need. 2 bundles of tomatoes die cut out. That's going to be, make sure I have the right pieces. Okay, that one goes with that, so we'll stamp on that. I'm going to kind of keep it separate though. This is the one we're going to die cut. Whoops. And then all of this is just layering and scoring, so we'll do that in just a minute. Let's do our prep work first. Seems to be the best way to do it. So let's create this inside here real quick. We'll do, again, let me find I think I got it all clean. So this time we're going to be using Real Red and Garden Green. This would make a fun Christmas card, the colors, just using different papers. All right, so all we need a top and bottom border of the stitched X's, whatever you want to call it. Stitch border is what I would call it. Okay, up about right there. Got a little bit, so got to clean that in a minute. And same. Pretty good. Okay. And that's all we'll need from that one. We're all done with that stamp now. So I'm going to pull it off and put it away. and clean up that little bit right there. Glass mat is so easy to clean, even adhesive. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Okay, let it dry a little bit. I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to turn it around so I can read the garden green name. Now we need real red. Now this is just a teeny bit tricky lining this up, but just do the best you can. Okay, this is a good, okay, so this is going to go right on this one. So real red. So maybe right about there. Okay. And then you need the vine part of it. Not sure if I have I don't think I have another 2x2 handy. I know I've got one. I do have another one. One second. I just remembered where it's at. So I'm just going to grab it. There we go. Okay. I think it goes this way. So before I ink it up at all, I'm going to just kind of try to line it up. I'm going to have to get over into it. It's going to end up being about like that. Just kind of get a feel for where it's supposed to be. Make sure you got plenty of, I'm going to have to pull it down so I can see it better. Okay. I'm going to have to get right over top of it. Sorry guys. Let me see here. It's twisted a little bit more than you think. That was pretty good. Yeah, if you can get right over top of it, you can get a pretty good impression or stamp in there. Okay, so that's done. Can put that over here. And now we just need to do 2 more and then die cut them out here. So let's do that. So real red. So can pretty much do it like right here. I don't know where I got that red right there. There's some on the edge, but that was from my finger, so let me make sure I'm clean. Again. I think I got some on the top here too. Look. Not sure. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so these 2 will be cut out. That real red does stain your stamps. That's fine. They still work great. So don't ever worry about your ink staining your stamps. It usually doesn't cause a problem. And then we need 2 of these. Again, I'm going to pull it in closer so I can line it up good. Okay. See, it's kind of turned. That's what's tricky about it. Okay. I gotta get right over it. Let's see if I did okay with that one. Yeah, I didn't do as well on that one. Pretty close, but there, and that was off a little bit. The first one was great. This one was perfect, but not too worried about it. Pretty close, and it will work. So let's clean up our mess. Actually, we're going to keep that one out because we still got to stamp the title or the sentiment. So before we put that away, let's see, we need Bursting with Happiness. Use that one again. This one was a great one for the bunch. the Thanks a Bunch would work great with it too. All right, we need to stamp that on here, just centered. We're almost complete with our 4 cards. Remember, you can recreate these with any DSP or stamps and dies that you have. Just get creative. Or if you want to create them exactly as I've made them, order your coordinating products from my website using the hostess code that I shared earlier. I shared a link. Say one little bit of die cutting left to do, and I'll send you the spend $50 or more on my website before shipping and tax, and I'll send you the pre-cut card kit. You'll also get the embellishments for free. All right, so I need that. So here's the die for this one. And we're almost done. Home stretch, here we come. You just have to run it through twice. So it looks pretty. Just keep kind of finagling it. Make sure that it looks like it's going to cut out pretty evenly. So does anybody have any questions about anything? If you do, leave a comment. You can also private message me if you like, depending on, I guess, where you're viewing from. Okay, there's one. There we go. And the final one. I'll look up here in a minute and check comments, see if there's any questions. I am going to be sharing the samples. I'll share here in a minute what we'll be doing for July's craft along. Then I'll be posting details the first week of July on how to participate live with me. And I need to double check the date. I'll share that as well real quick. Okay, that's a mess. I'm going to throw that away. Put those away. There's that. Now we just have assembly. Get all that put away. So I can stay semi-organized. Okay, we do need to do a little bit of scoring on here. This will be the most trickiest part of this one, I guess. Okay, keep my blade down here because we're just scoring at this time. All right, so let's make sure we get the right scoring measurements. I'm gonna just go along here with us. Okay, our first score. Okay, this is where it's a little tricky because it is 1 5/8. 1 5/8 right there. So if you want to make notes, so we're 1 5/8. And then our next score, we are at, let me push it up this way. Our next score is at 3 1/4. And then you'll do the exact same thing. You'll take this out, you'll flip it around, and do the exact same thing over here. So again, we are at 1 5/8, right? 1/8, 3/8, 5/8. 1 5/8. Using your scoring blade, and then 3 1/4. I'll tell you the measurement of this full piece as well, real quick. so you'll know. All right, so this piece was about 10 3/4. Looks like I'm a hair short. I don't know if that's intentional. Let me double check. I don't think it is. I think I'm just kind of looking to make sure. Okay. So technically I have it cut. I don't know if, I can't remember if this was intentional or not. At 10 and, let me look and see. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 16th. But I think you'll be just fine if you do 10 and 3/4. 10 and 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay? So, because I don't actually meet in the middle right up here, but it does end up being 4 1/4 when you put it together. So it does end up being 4 1/4, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. All right, put that over there. So we're folding in and folding out, kind of an accordion style. Folding in, folding out. You'll want to, let's take the bone folder and get that kind of tight. Since the cardstock is so thick, it still kind of pops and bounces like that. Crisper you can get it, the nicer it kind of lays, but so it'll still do kind of like a pop-up right there. All right, so let's build the inside. Got this piece, and let's see, I think it's this one. Yep. Let's go inside. Anybody? No. I was looking to see if anybody had questions. So all the measurements will be in the PDF that you'll receive along with your class kit, your card kit, craft along kit, when you purchase $50 or more. And you have this free video tutorial that you can follow along with once you get your kit. Okay, and I'm just centering that in there. You could make this bigger if you wanted to, if you wanted it to be really the point. Actually, you don't want to, because then you don't want to be able to see it when it's closed. Okay, all right, and then we can layer these pieces. So we've got this on top of there and that on top of there. Just want to make sure when you're layering it down that your vines are going the right way and not going like upside down. Okay. So first we'll get these papers layered, and then I'll show you how to layer them onto the actual card. Let's see. So what else do we have? We have, some exciting things that are going to be happening July 3rd. We have a ton of new Close to My Heart products that are going to be on my Stampin' Up website for July and August. And then new online exclusives for Stampin' Up will also be coming. They are our like Christmas in July products. All right, so we're going to layer this one on to this panel right here, just that little 1 3/4 inch-ish. So we just want glue on this half, but we want to make sure we get plenty. So I'm just doing it up. it that way. And we can layer it on there so there's about the same, about a 1/4 inch. Shouldn't be any glue on that side showing. Okay, and then this one we will actually use foam dots, dimensional elements on this one. So you just need them like right down that portion. Make sure that I got it. It's upside down. I'm gonna flip it over this way and do it just right here. So maybe 4 would probably be good. 5 may have been better, but 4, spread them out like that, and I think they'll be good. Okay. I'm tucking this under at the moment, but it's going to interlock into here. Just want to make sure that it's centered, like up in here. And then you'll be able to do that. See how it interlocks right there? All right, let's build up our front and we're done. Okay, this one can go straight down with some glue. Overlaps just a tiny bit on either side. This is one of my favorite, this die set. Stylish shapes. Okay, this one, these are both pop dotted with dimensional elements. So I'll just do, I was looking for my tweezers to wear. So maybe one right in here. I think that works. So one's underneath. We'll do this one first. The other one just needs one dimensional element. So I wanted them to meet kind of in the center right here so I can put that bow on top. So this one just needs a dimensional element down at the bottom, and you can put like a little dab of glue like right there. And so they'll turn in this way a little bit. Just like that. And then we need, I did want to show you, see if I can do it, show you how I like to occasionally tie the ends of these. Totally not necessary, but I made little knots down here. So first, I'm just going to find the center and make a bow. So doesn't need to be super big. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna make a knot toward the center. Don't pull it real tight yet, because you kind of want to maneuver it depending on where you want it exactly. But this is just kind of fun because it adds another little element to the card. Same thing over here. And then just kind of finagle it so it's about the same on both sides. Don't pull it tight until you are pretty sure where you want it. Okay. Just like that. We just need a glue dot. Let's see if there's one right there. Oh no, I'm messing it up. Probably just should have stayed with my fingers. Okay, there we go. Now I can grab it with my tweezers maybe. Okay, there we go. So then you just want it right up there at the top of the vines. Squish it down on there till it, okay, just have them out like that. We just need a couple of these garden green, I'm assuming that's what color these are, dots, translucent I think is what they're called. And I have one right over here. Can put it, sometimes I just like to put it kind of overlapping right there. And that's it. You can put more on there if you want, but I'm a little conservative when it comes to those. But I like to usually do 3s in different sizes. All right, there you have it. Okay, so how fun is that? So we've got that card that we just made. Then we have these. That was the fun, another fun fold. See if you can kind of get them in here. I've got plenty of room. I guess I could kind of spread them out. Let's do like that and like this. We'll make it look pretty. Then we have this one. This was just a standard card. We decorated the inside just a tiny bit. I did do kind of like a mirror effect on that. So we've got, I'm going to put that over here just because of the colors. And this one where we did the paper weaving on here. That was a lot of fun as well. So there is the To Market Craft Along card class. Again, you can use my hostess code that I posted in the comments to purchase the products necessary to complete these cards, which would be the Market Goodness bundle. So you'll need the dies plus the stamps, and it's an additional 10% off these through June 30th. So they're 10% off already, get an additional 10% off. And then you would also need these 3 ink pads, Garden Green, Real Red, and Pumpkin Pie. And your standard adhesive, scissors, blocks, and so forth. So spend $50 or more using my host code. Let me know for sure that you want this collection of cards to create. You'll create one of each, but you'll get everything pre-cut except for these vegetables here. You'll have to pre-cut your flowers, fussy cut those, and do these. So those are the little bits and pieces that you will have to cut on your own. But I'll pre-cut everything else for you so that you can complete your cards. You'll get a package of linen thread plus the translucent adhesive back dots in your kit as well. All right. If you have any questions about that, let me know. And let me show you, I have a couple of other little surprises I just wanted to wrap up with to share with you. Make sure you've seen it. Let me see if I have somewhere I printed out the PDF, I thought. Let me see if I can find it. So these cards I created in a YouTube video, one of them. So just search my YouTube feed. You'll find the 2468 accordion fold card video, and you can watch me put this together. This was a fun one. It's got 3 different flaps on it. Okay, they're both the same, just using different papers. So if you decided to purchase the DSP along with it, with your order, you can create these cards as well, or create them in something you have on hand already. But in my YouTube video description, I did provide a link for the free PDF. Okay, so that's absolutely free. You could do on your own. So look for that. And then one other thing I wanted to share was my 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page that I created. There it is, right on the front. I did this as my first story and sketch. And see how this is 8.5 by 11 again. This is my story and sketch video series. And I used this collection with, on that series. There's a video showing how I put it together. I did that same, it matches that first card we made. So I used kind of some of the same elements and ideas for it, doing the paper weaving, and there's that little flower bouquet that I finally figured out what it was for, or what it created. Did a little sponging, and you still use the stylish shapes dies in here as well. Created the same little cluster of vegetables, so that was fun. I do this every Wednesday, and I guess while I'm here, I'll show you. So far, this is what I've created. These are the 8.5 by 11 pages I've done. So I've done a month's worth. I started at the beginning of June. So every Wednesday, story and sketch. Every Monday, I do Make It Monday, which I do a 2-page, usually I do a 2-page 12 by 12 layout. And then on Fridays, I do cards, fun folds, and things like that. I did some real fun stuff yesterday. So be sure to check out my YouTube video to find those easily. They're also on my Facebook page if you just scroll through there. I haven't tried to organize those. I'll have to look and see if I can, so you can find them easier. But anyhow, that's it for today, I think. And I appreciate you if you joined me just to watch and learn. If you, again, want the instructions, you'll need to make a $50 purchase to get the card kit plus the PDF. So there we have it. So y'all have a great weekend, and check out my buy one, get one sale too. I shared the link, and you can, I'm probably not going to get a lot done today. I didn't get much done yesterday because Jeff and I went to dinner last night, and we're going to the regenerative farm about an hour away to check that out this afternoon, evening. So tomorrow is my first free day, and I will be posting lots and lots of more Close to My Heart products on there. When you shop from my Close to My Heart products, then you can shop through my store, my Stampin' Up store, for the same amount. So if you spend $100, if you choose $100 worth of my retired Close to My Heart products, you would go to my Stampin' Up website and spend $100 before shipping and tax. And then all you have to do is pay the shipping on the Close to My Heart products. So you actually get those for free. So it's a super great deal. And if you want to wait till July 3rd to place your order, that's perfectly fine. When those new exclusive items from Stampin' Up come out, along with the Close to My Heart new products. So if you have questions about that, shoot me a message, and I'll help you with that. Y'all have a great day, great weekend. See y'all on Monday for Make It Monday.